It's going to be hard. Is that about right? Apart from it taking rather a long time for The Guardian to find out that maybe I was worth talking about, I've got a very big admission to make, which is that I haven't written a book, ever. I haven't tried to write a book yet. I'm putting yet in, as I've been invited here. So presumably I'm hoping to write a book, but thank you very much, everybody, for having me here, and I'm slightly embarrassed about that fact. But it's because I'm really busy trying to make something very interesting happen to write about. However, I am also going to read, because I'm not very good at this, from something that I did write because I was approached about writing a book back in 2017. So I pulled it out for today. And really had to completely pull it apart because in the last 4 years, our world has changed so much that it's unrecognizable, and most of the things I'd written didn't really make any sense anymore. But it'll tell you a little bit about me and hope and some of the things that I've learnt in the last 24 years, 34 years. Anyway, here goes. I think, in fact, every decision we ever make is actually rooted in hope, you know, to make the next hour better than the last, the next day, the next year, the next moment. So, 24 years ago, in the autumn of '98, when I was 24 years old, I gave up my job to protect another young woman. 4 years ago, in the autumn of 2017, in the hope that it would give other people courage to come forward, I broke the terms of a non-disclosure agreement. This agreement had been drawn up between me and my then employer in the wake of his assault and attempted rape of my young colleague. That employer was Harvey Weinstein. From the moment I heard the words fall from her lips, our hopes and dreams were no longer ours. We embarked on a journey, naively it turns out, to find justice, and our lives were altered indelibly. We are all flawed. There will always be human beings who follow their dark inclinations. Consequently, we've created a set of collective rules designed to protect ourselves from ourselves. Law. It is an unshakable reality, a foundation which underpins all that we, as professed civilized human beings, know to be right and true. It is our protection, our equalizer, that no man or woman is above. Or so I thought. But the law let me down, not only once, but twice, in 1998 and in 2017. Both times in the face of clear criminal accusations and a huge disparity of wealth and power of the individuals involved. The dreadful realization at 24, as I sat in front of a amused partner at the law firm I'd approached for help, that the law, because of the power of the perpetrator, could not or would not execute justice, was the first glimpse of the precipice. The process that I then went through at the hands of my own and Weinstein's lawyers broke my trust in all I had been brought up to believe in at home and by the industry I worked in that promised happy endings. In a matter of days, the course of my life was changed. I lost my livelihood, my voice, and most crucially, my trust in right and wrong. So when 20 years later, I told the same lawyer from 1998 of my desire to break the NDA he had helped write and expose the deep and sinister rot that enables the powerful to act with impunity, I was met with a resounding no. It was just, if not more shocking then. However, hope is an instinct, one no scientist or philosopher can explain. Hope is our ultimate superpower that we all have within us. Small or large, hope is what makes us wake up every morning, and that mysterious feathered friend of Emily Dickinson, which had spent 20 years quieted, was not silenced. The moment I took that first call from a journalist at the New York Times in 2017, that hope rose against my intellect and preservation and led me down a path I had not planned to tread. And so, unwittingly, I became a part of a movement powered by the instinct of hope, the hope that if our voices are heard, things will change. You cannot stop humankind being humankind, but you can change and improve the rules we agree to live by, addressing the problem at the root rather than simply cutting the bad branches from the tree. Since the long-awaited exposure and incarceration of Weinstein, I've been journeying to lay bare one of the most duplicitous weapons that allows the powerful to silence the vulnerable and to try and change the system that legally hides and protects abusers. I feel a bit like I'm at school doing a speech. Sorry, everybody. This is something which happened to me, but which unfortunately happens far too often to others. In businesses large and small, the world over, universities, football clubs, hospitals, political parties, news organisations, voices are being silenced by non-disclosure agreements. Hopes are being crushed by legal documents purporting to be on their side. With the incredible support of several fiercely passionate MPs, brilliant lawyers, academics, and the many voices of the wronged, the campaign Can't Buy My Silence has been born, and real progress is being made. Legislation banning NDAs has been passed and is in progress in countries with consciences around the world, the closest being our neighbour of Ireland. More victims are finding the strength to question the legitimacy of these immoral agreements. Sadly, change has yet to happen here, but we are close, and it will. What started as a horrific period of subjugation and silencing has become a surprisingly invigorating time. My belief in the power of right and the ultimate decency, as well as frailty, of human nature is being restored, and maybe even my belief in justice. It turns out that the cliché of finding my voice has in fact been the key to expanding my hope, by sharing it with others who are still bound and helping them believe that although change is slow, it is possible. It has helped me find the right people to speak to and to hopefully listen. The truth is that we all have hope. It just depends how keenly we listen to it and how far we're prepared to risk its dashing. But I believe we can never truly smother it. From my experience, I have learned that it is the very act of engaging with hope that makes life worth living, and have discovered time and again that hope triumphs over experience every time. Hope ultimately is inextinguishable.